So, I think I want to just talk about a couple things. Yeah, I don't know if it'll make sense or anything, but it's like astral travel. They talk about astral travel, and I feel like we do that. We astral travel, and we don't realize it. Like through our dreams. Even when we're daydreaming and stuff in the daytime. But I was like I said, it's my journey. It's my journey that I experienced I experienced with my wife too. So it was I've said before, plenty of times about just trying to dissect it. Of the awakening, and they talk about this Ouroboros, where the snake it bites its tail, so it's a big circle, and it's like I think there's a book, and I haven't read it yet or anything. I don't know much about it, but it's just something that I happened to see, and I was interested in looking at it. It was called I think it's the Mayan Ouroboros by Drunvalo Melchizedek. I think that's how you pronounce it. I'm not sure his last name, but I know my wife really likes him. I remember she said something a while back, but it's like where the cosmic cycles come full circle, I guess. And it was weird because it just kind of rang a bell. It reminded me of I had told my wife that it felt, when I say the past, present, and future meet the pause, when I was up there in Ohm, that night of Ohm, it felt like, I tell her, like after that, it felt like I had caught up to myself, and I had found myself here, and I explain it like as good as I can explain it. For me, is it felt like, and I said this a while ago. I said when I was a kid, it reminds me of when I was a kid, and my cousins and everybody, all of us used to play this game, and it's like I'm sure a lot of people have heard of it. It's Duck Duck Goose. And I've said this, I think, on one of my talks. I didn't really think anything of it too much, but it was like I was the one who was running after the person to tag them, but I was also the one who got tagged. So it was like going in this circle and catching up and tagging myself, saying, you're it. That's what it felt like. It felt like that. It felt like, and I kind of think of that Ouroboros, that symbol, the snake eating its tail. It's to me, it feels like that. It felt like that. That I had saw myself in this time. I'd finally caught up to myself. Yeah, so it's kind of trip. It's kind of weird. But anyways, yeah, I was thinking of that just not too long ago. But I did like a meditation earlier this morning, and I really like doing I like all types of different meditations, but one that I really get a lot of is like in the bathtub, something with water. That I think I go a little deeper into traveling. I feel I've seen it's like when you travel, you see yourself, and you're just kind of going through, and you remember everything in there. and I can see, myself. I've seen myself where I've been in the bathtub and I've been up there, but it's like, you got to learn how to. They say how to ground yourself, and so that's I'm a newbie. On doing stuff like that. So I've learned certain techniques for me, and sometimes I do forget to ground myself, and I'm like, whoa. Uh, when I come back, it's getting a little startled, but when I do ground myself, I can go back into myself and ease into it and open my eyes and be relaxed, so relaxed. But it just reminds me of peace. It reminds me of so much peace, so much stillness and quietness. Um, and um, and when I was, like, I know I'm jumping around, but I was just thinking like that night of Om, the fourth bell. So four is a big number for me, and I remember I talked about in here Jupiter. That's the four is the symbol for Jupiter, um, and it's 10, and that's what it felt like. It felt like that snake in the DNA or the helix, a double helix. It felt like a piece of tin, like that you take a little thin piece of tin and you wave it up and down. I used to do that before, and you can hear that sound and you can see how it creates that wave. Um, that's what it felt like. And I remember during that week, I had wrote down, I think it was Jupiter and some other stuff, and Taurus, I've said that before, but Jupiter, I just remember Jupiter. And I also remember I said something to my wife that I didn't even know, and I was like, what is that? And she told me, she said, you said that, and I wrote it down. I just remember writing it down, and I remember, I guess I said something in a sense. I haven't looked at it again, so I'm just thinking off the top of my head. I'm thinking back, like I'll make you white as snow, like that. Like it was like, to me, I took it as like healing, a cleansing. It was like a cleanse. I'll brighten you up. I'll make you shine, and that's how I felt. It felt like when I came back, like my spine was cleansed. It was clean. It was shiny. Like I said, it felt like all these ports in my nervous system, my veins, everything had just opened up and just received this fresh oxygen, this breath. And I say, like, when I came back, it felt like, I always say it felt like, and when I say this, it felt like God had massaged my heart and brought me back and said, it's not your time, it's not your time. And it was like that feeling of, when I say massage, it's like breathing. It's like breathing into me. That's what it felt like. But it felt like such a love that I explained it as a massage. It was like massaging the heart. But it was just very special. Yeah, it was just really special. It's just that feeling. But yeah, so just remember it was like I felt like I was healed, and I just think about like how much anger I had, and I think about so much anger outside of me everywhere. There's a lot between as a whole, as all. Um, there's so much, and there's a lot of peace too. But it's like, wouldn't it be amazing, if we have this World Peace Day, if we totally, globally actually celebrated that day and had complete peace and stillness and in thoughts and in voice, if it would heal, if it would heal a lot of diseases. yeah, if it would heal a lot of diseases. It felt like a cure. I'm just kind of just my thought of what came into me. It felt like a cure of cancer for me. Like that's what it felt like. And my dad passed away from cancer, so and that was 11 years ago, and it felt like that. It felt like it was like a cure for cancer, and I was trying to figure out. Just it was in my, but it was in general. I feel like it's a lot of diseases that we create these diseases by the chaos, by the anger, by everything that is not good for us. And it was like, wouldn't it be amazing if we had this world peace and we really truly celebrated it as a whole, to see if that stillness can come in, and that stillness, you can actually hear more in that stillness than you can around you what you hear now. If you're just quiet enough, you can hear so much. You can hear a lot. You can hear the wind. You can feel the wind. You can see the wind. You can, and you can. It's like a feeling in your heart. Um, it's just, it's just so special. Um, it's just, yeah, it's just beautiful. It's music. It's like harmony. Um, yeah, that Om was very special. Like I said, it felt like at first it felt like a few monks, and then it felt like 1,000 monks when I got so deep in. But it's just the Om. It's like, they say that's a sacred syllable. Uh, the sound, the sound. It's beautiful harmony. The number three, the Om. Um, it's just a lot of numbers are very special to me, but I'm just talking about those two numbers in general. Of four, Jupiter, and atomic numbers 50. It's just like it's like 10. It's like I just remember when I was a kid. I used to put that foil on the antennas. It always reminded me of like a like you're communicating with extraterrestrials. It's just I don't know. It just always tin, so tin foil. Um, but yeah, it's like it'd just be amazing. But I just kind of was thinking about, like, I think it was yesterday I had um, talked about the true black, and it was like I feel like I said it. I think I want to say it was like creating. It's like where I get my pictures and the thoughts and the memories, and I feel like that's also space. It's space. It's like mirroring space up in space, and um, yeah. So as I was in my meditation this morning, I just remember a few things that came to me. When I came out of it, but it was like, I don't know. It probably won't make sense, but to me it does make sense. I'm trying to bring it down. Like I said, I always try and bring it down to this plane, because being like as an astral plane or in a higher plane, it's just so different, and you have to try and explain it down here on this plane. So it was like, so I say true black. It's space, matter, universe, and within us, and I know I had mentioned it felt like, I mentioned before that it felt like my wife and I were these two stars who collided and created this supernova, and a black hole, and one got stuck and one came back, and um, it was like the event horizon, but it was so. I say these two separate entities that collide. So I figure it's like these two circles. You kind of imagine these two circles, and they are magnetized, and they come together and create this 8. So it's like to create a reaction. They're coming together to collide to create a reaction. So it's like there's one on one end, one on the other of those 8s, and or the circles, as they come together, they start moving and flowing, and eventually they catch up, and it's like a figure 8 when you watch the cars in the figure 8s when they're going through and everything, and it was like we came to that intersection, and it was like boom, and it was like an explosion, like an atomic bomb. And I figured it was like to create light. And I figure that's the white, that's the yin and yang, the true white, true black. It's feminine, masculine. It's negative and positive. It's an opposite. It's just opposites, and it was like they came together and they created this explosion, and it was to create this separation, to see the connection of the other half. We didn't, you didn't know that, and once you hit and separate, it's like you see it, and it's like they the other half, and to rejoin, to magnetize the matter. And I say energy is a question mark. I just don't know. I haven't really thought about it too much, but it's like it knows its other half, its connection from memory, as they connected originally and then separated, and it knows that other half, that matter. It knows that part, or should I say, it knows each other. I don't know yet for me, but it knows each other. So it's like from memory, and they join in union to form, to fuse, to merge as one, and that's what it was like. It felt like we had merged as one, like we can read each other's minds, and yeah, it just felt like that. It just kind of really, yeah, as one, to create the flow of feminine and masculine. And once that happened, it was like, it wasn't just feeling it with her, it was feeling it within myself. It's like it woke me up, and it was like I had to learn how to balance the polarities to create the tune of harmony. So it's like I had to learn of each other, and to create peace and not war, love and not hate. Everything has always been within. I just needed to finally surrender, to let go of all the emotional and physical pain I had held captive for so long. All of my archetypal masks, to know all things will be okay. And I figured, we were just meant to be together, her and I. It was just that feeling, we knew each other a long time ago, and it was like her aunt and my best friend's mom had brought us together again. Like it was like 33 years later, and it was just, yeah. So it's almost like I felt like my dad was there. My dad was there, and her aunt was there. And I say thanks, Dad, and thank you, Anita, for bringing V and I together. It was both of you. And like the spirits, I feel like the spirits work in mysterious ways. Yeah, I feel like they work. It's like they say karma. It's like karma. So just yeah, so I think that's it. I think I know there's a few other things I wanted to talk about, but I just have a few other things on my mind. So yeah, it just kind of felt like that. It felt that experience. It was a pretty heavy experience that we had, and I know I've said that before, but I just sometimes I'll repeat myself. So try and think if there's anything else. That's it. That's good for now. Thank you.